Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're bringing you a special video. We are going to be processing some venison from last season. Deer season's coming up in a few weeks. We got to get this thing stuff processed so we can eat it better and give it away and get this stuff out of the way because we're going to have more deer coming in soon. So right here we have 25 pounds. You can see it was all ground up, packaged, frozen. I just unthawed it. It's still super cold. And I have 25 pounds of venison right here. A lot of people add pork to their mixture. Some will even go 50-50. And I often do as well. But I'm going to try to do it without. And we're going to see how it turns out. I have done summer sausage with completely venison and it turned out fine. It just kind of depends on preference, in my opinion. Some people say it's too dry, some people say it falls apart. But for brats, we're going to have casing, it's going to hold it together. And I think it's going to taste just fine. We have seasonings from PS Seasonings here. The first one we're going to be doing is Venison Brats. We also have the Blue Ribbon Bratwurst seasoning from PS Seasonings as well. Both of these make 25 pounds. So we're going to make this batch, and then we'll flip over and we'll make the other batch. So first we're going to be starting out with Venison Brats. So we're going to mix this in and then go from there. A little bit of a disclaimer, not a professional here, alright? But I have processed some meat before. A significant amount of meat. I'm not a processor, but I have done a fair share of processing. Let me get something to cut this. There we go. So this meat is really cold. You want it to be so cold that it almost hurts your hand to stir it. And I'm going to do like half of it on top, mix it together, then do the other half. So we're just going to do a nice dusting on top. Mix this all together. Start stirring. Alright, I am just stirring this stuff together real good, mixing it in, making sure you get the edges. The edges of seasoning will fall down and accumulate on the edges, and I'm going to add the last bit of seasoning. Perfect. Alright, stir this all together. You can overmix it as to where it makes your meat like gummy almost. But you also want to make sure that you get it good. I don't obviously have an actual meat mixer, so I just want to make sure that this stuff is really mixed in there real good, because I want the brat flavoring to be on everything. Sometimes when you're mixing it a lot and stuff, it starts getting dry. I just want to add a little bit of water. Make sure this stuff doesn't get too tacky. Just going to do it on top. I'm going to mix it in. This is going to help it go through the stuffer a little bit better and help it really fill in the cracks of your brats and stuff. Alright, so now I made sure I washed this thing out real good. This is a brand new stuffer, just got it, we're going to test it out. It's a 7-pound stuffer, but hopefully it works great. The reviews were good. We are going to be using natural hog casings. You can use collagen. You can see there's a little air bubble that'll come out when I slide it on the horn. But that's because I was rinsing them out. Make sure you rinse them because there's a bunch of salt and stuff inside that you want to get out, just so that it preserves the stuff while it's being chipped and stuff. But make sure you wash them out. It'll make your meat taste way differently. Made that mistake once and they were nasty. So now we're going to stuff this thing completely full. I want to make sure that we pack it down there real good. I almost got a 3-pound stuffer. And I'm glad that I got 7-pound. Now, you don't need a stuffer. I have done this with a grinder with the attachment for the stuffer, but if you're gonna process a lot of deer, a lot of stuff, or even just a significant amount, they're really not that expensive. The way I look at it is if I go take my deer to the processor, and get it processed like that, it's going to cost me just to get the simplest thing where they just cut everything off and grind it up. it's gonna cost you no less than like probably around $100. That's what it costs around here at least. And if you get one deer processed like that, and that's the simplest form too. That's not any brats, no crazy cuts, no nothing. Everything's just ground. You can pay off this thing right here. I mean, this thing was $130, I think. Mind you, I did get this thing on sale, but you can look for sales too. I think it's definitely worth it. So, I got that thing stuffed, completely full. So, attach this guy. We are going to be using, probably going to be using the second to smallest horn. One of the reviews that people were complaining about was that it had metal horns, so the stuff doesn't slide on. We're going to try it, and then if we don't like it, I do have plastic horns that I think will fit on this thing too. So, grab a casing. This thing, you can see, has a little bit of an air bubble. That comes from cleaning it out, but that'll go away when I slide it onto this horn. So right away what I notice is it's a little bit hard to get it slid up, but once you have it all the way up to where you want it, then it slides on pretty easily because the one before it is lubricating it. So I don't think it's super bad. I gotta give it a little bit of resistance because the larger horn is just a little too big. So now we have the sausage link here, entire thing. And that's one bad thing about pod casings is it's not just one long string. It comes in strands, obviously, where it can be up to from 3 to, I don't know, 6 feet. So now I'm just gonna, I grab my link where I want it, where I want my lengths, and I'll pinch in 2 spots. And you're just gotta work the meat a little bit to make sure you don't tear your casings. And then I'll roll it one way for that guy. So now you got 2. And then you go 1 raw length, and then another raw length, and pinch it again. You can make 2 links at a time, and it's a lot faster than rolling each one individually. So, roll that, and there you go. We got our sausage. We now have an absolute pile of stringers of brats here. So what we're going to do is we're going to obviously freeze these. Right now I'm going to put these in Ziploc bags. Well, that worked. But I do have a vacuum sealer that we're going to vacuum seal some of them, but I don't have enough of the vacuum seal stuff to vacuum seal all of them. So I'm going to put some of them just in Ziploc bags and freeze it like that. I just forgot to order vacuum seal plastic. But now that we rolled these, I'm just going to take them, and I'm just going to cut them into links. I'm going to do 6 per package. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Freeze it like that. And then if my family has 6 people in it, and if we want to make dinner for the whole family, we'll just grab 2 packages. It's pretty simple. So I do 6, some people do 8. Actually, should we do 8? Because 8 buns come in a package.
Yeah, let's do it. That's smart.
Never mind. We're doing 8 because 8 buns come in a standard bun package. I'm gonna have like a few like little ends that we have left over. I'm just gonna put those all in the same package and make those. We can make those separately. this batch, we're not gonna show you guys step by step for this one because you're gonna watch step by step for the other one. But this one we're gonna do the blue ribbon bratwurst seasoning from PS Seasonings, I guess. That's what we're doing. So we're gonna do the same thing where I'm doing half of it. This package makes 20 pounds instead of 25. So that's what we're doing, half of it. And then also, I've seen some other people do this. I'm not sure if it's gonna work or not. Usually I buy high temp cheddar or just high temp cheese. You can buy more than just cheddar. But that's kind of expensive, not gonna lie. And you can buy a giant this block of cheese at a Whole Foods store. And so that's what I did, as I chopped it up into tiny diced pieces, and then I froze them so they don't all just stick together. So we're gonna add that in here, or we're gonna see if it works for brats. I don't know if I'd want to try it for like summer sausage or something, because that stuff gets smoked for a long time and it'll melt and stuff. But this is inside of the casing, and hopefully it'll just stay inside. So we're gonna try it. We're gonna test it out and see what it turns out. So I'm just gonna pour a bunch of this stuff on and mix it in with the rest. Boom! There we go. We have cheese, blue ribbon, bratwurst. We got so many, I think there's 20 pounds right there. We have a lot of brats. Oh my gosh. The other ones are already in the freezer. We're gonna stick these in, and then we're gonna throw some on the grill and taste them out. All right, so we got the, I don't even know how to say it. The first brats we made. We're gonna make 8 of those, and then we're gonna make 8 of the blue ribbon ones as well. Just gonna make a whole batch. These things are ready to come off. Look at that. Yes, sir.
Ugh.
I'm just gonna take some of these top ones off there on the most high heat. We got, this is the, what was the first one called?
I'm not sure.
Smells pretty good, but just dig in. Just put a little bit of barbecue sauce because I don't want to cover it up. I actually want to taste the broth, so.
It's hot.
Going back to what I said at the beginning of the video, it's possible to make all venison brats. You don't have to put pork in them. They turned out just fine. They are a little bit dry though. I will give that. I can be honest about it. They're a little bit dry, but I also cooked them a little too much. Sometimes I get scared with wild game. I just want to make sure it's done. So that also is contributing to the dryness. But let's try the cheddar cheese one. Or it's not cheddar, it's Colby Jack, but see if that worked out. It is good. The cheese that's on the edges though is like basically flattened. There's not really a chunk anymore. But where the cheese in the middle, I think it's fine. I think it worked. I think it's gonna be fine. So it's not quite as like firm as high temp cheese would be. Obviously, it's gonna run out. But it works. I think it's good. So I think it was a success. We made 65 pounds of brats today. Kind of crazy.
Let's go, baby.
But yeah, we are all meat processed. Everything's done. So we're gonna eat a bunch of these, and then we're also gonna give some away. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Maybe you learned something. Hope you guys had fun. I had fun. Turned out pretty great. The meat stuffer actually was pretty good. I liked it. The only thing that I would say about the meat stuffer was when you get to the bottom, it would go over center because it tips out to take it out, and sometimes it would go, you would crank it all the way down, and when you get to the bottom, it's pushing hard enough that it starts tipping backwards, so you have to hold it. But other than that, it works great. So, yeah, with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed. We're gonna eat more brats because they're pretty good. Yeah, catch you guys on the next one.